Right, so the video you're about to watch, I previously put out earlier, but a longer version of it. And when I watched it back, it made me look a bit ranty and ravey, really. I was just chatting away because there wasn't much work as such to show. I was chatting away and I just got a bit passionate about life. And when I watched it back, I felt like I come across as a bit of a miserable old git, really, but I'm not. So I didn't really like the way it portrayed me. Although it was the truth, I didn't think it was suitable for what I'm trying to achieve on here. So anyway, what I'm saying is my apologies if you think you're watching a new video, but you're going to watch a rehash version of the one you watched earlier. So anyway, that's all it is. See you soon. All right, morning everybody. Now today I'm still decorating this lovely house and I should be setting up my scaffold tower to get up to there. And I've got two more of them around the back in this lovely 30-degree heat, whatever it is. So picked up my tower. I should buy one really, but it's just keeping it, storing it, isn't it, really? It's the pain. Otherwise, if I had the room to store one, I would definitely buy one, but you just have to sit at the end of the garden getting covered in crap all year. So anyway, but today's job is, as well as the dormers, it's the front door. So just preparing all that, and that's going in a black gloss, so it's going to have a primer and then an undercoat and then gloss. So we won't do all the gloss today, just probably the primer and undercoat. And so for doing work like that, I should have these glasses on all the time, but I want to try and make that front door come out nice. So today I'm looking very Ronnie Corbett today. I mean so there's me and the producer standing in a bunker. That's my Ronnie Corbett impression. Ain't bad, is it? Ain't bad. So I said to the producer, why am I standing in a bunker with no trousers? Anyway, enough of that. But yeah, so today it is Ronnie Corbett, Eric Morgan, painting the front door. So I'll set you up on the phone stand and film a bit of it. How interesting it'll be, I don't know. I'm going to wash the door down with some, I'll give it a little sand down and then like a Scotch-Brite cloth all over it. And then I'm going to wipe it all down with a cloth and some some methylated spirits. Just to get rid of any dirt and grease and grime that might have come off the road from it. So let's get on and let's do this. So, state of that up. So the reason I've used the methylated spirit or the meths is purely that it's a degreaser, removes grease and grime. So you just go over the door, over the woodwork with that. I don't want to go over it with water, anything soapy, because I don't want any water getting into that door and maybe lifting the grain out. So the good thing with this stuff is it just evaporates. So that's one good thing. And also I was going to prime that door, but it's not really bare wood. It's obviously had like stain or varnish over it over the years. And also I used the water-based primer, the Zinza one, and it's a bit thick and gloopy and it does like to form a skin, especially around where I've masked. It bridges so thick that you've almost probably got to pull that masking tape straight off after you've put your first coat of primer on. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to go on straight with an oil undercoat. I'd rather give it two good coats of that really, which it'll be fine. It'll hold on that door. I much prefer using the old stuff. I know the water-based stuff is obviously an easy clean up and it dries quick, but it ain't a patch on the old stuff, is it really? So anyway, let's get on with this and back in the bunker. That's just one quick undercoat there, sort of quite a thin coat really. Still had a bit of white spirit on the brush, just where I washed it out yesterday, which that's okay because it helps it move about a bit. So that took, I don't know, 5 minutes, five minutes or so just to give that a coat on there. So that's right, all the hinges are masked up. Got my proper stuff down. I like this gear, X-board, it's good stuff actually. And then obviously it's going to stay like a wooden on here, so all masked up down there. But what you will find is, going over that wooden door, is that you'll start seeing any open grain now. Now you start to paint it, you'll see anything that's open. So I'm hoping another good coat of undercoat and a couple of coats of gloss will close all that in anyway. I don't really want to start putting filler on it and stuff. So anyway, time to leave that now, get scaffold set up and get up top in this heat. When I put these towers up, which is 9 times out of 10 I'm on my own doing it, I always just put the first one like that on the outside edge, one there, one there. It can't do anything then. That's still, you can just build it from there without it trying to do this cantilever stuff. Right, that is that built. That's enough pieces. That's all I'm going to use. Very rare do you ever use it all. A bit like IKEA flat pack stuff. There's always loads of bits you don't want. So the only reason I want that is so I can get a scaffold board from there onto the well, as close up to that dormer as I can really. Right, so here I am up here now. Just turn you around, just walk the plank a bit. Always looks worse on the cameras than what they actually are. So yes, I've got a seal along here just to walk on. Little flat roof on the dormer I can get on, and it's barely anything really. It's just a little bit of it's all in good condition anyway. So it's just these soffits under here and the fascias, but they're all going back in a black gloss, but they're in such good condition it's not going to take much. And then obviously around there, up there to do same other side. So right, we'll put the phone down because I don't want to step off the edge of this. Oh, that's hot up there. It's one of them days down here. It's not, sun's not massively out. It's cloud, a bit hazy up there, but it's really hot and sticky. So it's Friday today, and we're going away to Mallorca on the early hours of Tuesday morning. So by Tuesday afternoon, by this time Tuesday, I think I should be sitting around a pool, just relaxing. Okay, that's the second coat of undercoat on there, and it's all looking all right. It's taking okay. Just had to double check that I was doing the outside of the door then and not the inside. Do you know what? Sometimes I can be stupid like that. I can do ridiculous things like that because I'm so keen to get the job done. Sometimes the obvious doesn't sometimes hit me. I'm not stupid, but it's just sometimes I'm too keen to start work. I remember years ago when I worked on a company, I had to go to an estate agent, pick up some keys for an empty shop. And I had to clean all the shop windows on the outside and then put up stickers, then put up these posters on the window saying no bill stickers, which if you don't know what bill stickers means, it was just an old word for saying no posters, no advertising. So I've got the keys from the estate agent. I cleaned all the outside windows, scraped off all the old stuff, cleaned them. And I thought, what do I need the keys for? So then, you won't believe this. Well, those that watch the channel be regular might believe it. People I know that are watching the channel will definitely believe it. So the posters, the stickers, the leaflets I've been given to say no bill stickers, can't believe I'm telling you this, I then stuck them on the outside of the window, which I'd just cleaned. Then I went back to the estate agents, give them the keys back. So I never actually went in this empty shop. And it wasn't, this is how my mind works. And it wasn't until I was driving away, I thought, you prat, you're meant to stick them on the inside of the window. so there's no stickers on the outside of the window. So anyway, that's why I just had to give a quick double check and think, I did do the outside of that door, didn't I, not the inside. Anyway, so we've all got our funny quirks, haven't we? Me probably more than most. So this is this sort of old rustic top I've been painting, so it all had a grey undercoat. That's just having a gloss. All brushwork really. I'm not mucking about with roller, just get it on with a brush. Puts it on thicker, you can get away with one undercoat and one top coat with the brushing. If you start putting it on with a roller, you can end up with like patches and that. I don't want to be up here forever, so just getting on with this really. Look at that. That's all done, the dormer. Just zoom you in up there. That's all done. Done all the flashing on the bottom of the sill. Done the white on the soffit and the black of the fascia. That's that done. So I've got another one of these to gloss down that end. That might not be today. I've got plenty of time on this job anyway, so the scaffold's working out well up here, so we get this all done. And the front door's had a gloss, which I'm only going to give it one today because it'll be too much. So it's had two undercoats and a gloss. I don't really want to give it more than two undercoats and a gloss in one day. I think that'd be a bit too much. Plus the door's got to be shut tonight. It's lucky the woman's home, she can leave it open as long as she likes, but tomorrow morning she goes away. So I'm the only one here, so I want to get that front door glossed early, first thing, and then hopefully it'll be dry enough by the time I go to shut the door. Actually, I left this job yesterday. The woman was going to be out. She leaves me to lock up. I went home. Stupid mistake. Like I was saying earlier, I missed the obvious. She texts me. Everything else is locked up, but the front door's wide open. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. I left the front door wide open. Sometimes I do that because I didn't have a key. I leave the front door open to the last things I know. You used to keep doing this, didn't you? Wallet, phone, keys, and you go around and you double check, make sure the windows are locked. And something must have distracted me and I just didn't pull the front door to, which is really, really unlike me. I was kicking myself all night for that. That's really not my style, really. I'm a bit sort of usually over the top, but just shows it can happen to us. I also did a load of work on the next door neighbour's house as well, so I put that fence on, I put that fence post up, and then I painted the garage door. Let me show you. Let me zoom in a bit. So the front door was brown like them posts. So I sprayed the front door, and same with the garage door. I sprayed that up, and then I painted all the fence. Oh no, I put all new fence posts in along there, and I painted the fence as well. Painted all the windowsills. I've also done a load of work inside that house as well. Yeah, got some good customers, some nice customers. And this one, I think I've literally done every downstairs, yeah, every part of this place downstairs I've basically plastered and painted as well, so nice. So if anyone's wondering what gloss I'm using, it's oil-based Dulux Weather Shield from the trade shop, not the DIY stuff. I've given up. I don't never buy the DIY stuff. Very, very rare. Usually I always go to a trade place. When you're just painting, you have a lot of thinking time, don't you? And my head was just going through comedians and people who I like, and I've always been a big fan of comedy, and I've always admired someone that can stand there and just hold an audience with comedy. Not even if it doesn't make me laugh, it's a hell of an art form, I think. You know, one man and one woman standing there trying to get a laugh out of an audience of people. It's the hardest thing to do. But for me, I think the master is not so much for the belly laughs, but just a master at delivery and the time, everything about it. It's got to be a Bob Monkhouse, really. I absolutely loved him. I loved everything he did that bloke. I know he was smarmy, don't get me wrong, but that's sort of why I liked him, really. He didn't care. He got on that stage, a bit like old Brucey, really. And once he was on that stage, he just held it, and they could ad-lib, they could talk to contestants. I mean, that's a hell of a thing to do. I can just barely talk to my own phone without feeling all nervous and anxious. But yeah, old Bobby was brilliant. Yeah, looking tidy now. Look at that. Nice and shiny. One over there. It is nice, that old Weather Shield gloss. It does do exactly what you want it to do. It's not bad at all, is it? One good undercoat, one good gloss, all brushwork. I'm bloody chuffed to bits with that. Then I've got to come round here from tomorrow. The soffits all had been painted, so it's just a little bit of fascia that you can see in the black gloss, which is nothing. And then I've got to same all the way around with that fascia. It looks a lot, but there's not a lot on there. It's only sort of 2.5, 3 inches showing. There's my door that I repaired the other day, which is all on now. Just got to put a weather bar down the bottom. That's all on, done. A little bit of fill around the edge, a bit of Glenn Miller. But yeah, so that's done. The coat just needs a gloss. And then I've got 2 more dormers up there. Same situation, really. There's barely anything on them. Look, it's just literally the underneath of the soffit and that little bit of fascia that you can see. All the windows are UPVC, so that's not bad. And then once that's done, I've got an awkward bit. Look at this garden, look. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Right by the river, look. How nice is that? It's a busy old towpath though, and there's a main road running there. But yeah, how nice to have that at the end of your garden. Anyway, now I've got an awkward bit which joins onto the neighbours. So I've got to somehow get down there. I won't fuck about too much. I'll get in there, but I'll just give it a lick. Maybe with my tongue. I don't know if I get a brush in there. Tomatoes. Back to Ronnie Corbett. So
Another day over. Great bit of paintwork done. And what should pop up between my legs? A courgette.
That's a terrible Ronnie Corbett impression. I might even not keep it in, but
anyway. So there I am, standing in a bunker.
That's about all I can say as a half-assed Ronnie Corbett. So I'm going to take my glasses off now before I can be called anything on my own. And I'll see you later.